Hello, back in the video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Element Cup again here, and we have a team that's pretty cheap to build, as we kinda want to take a look at a team here that in general, like, gonna give you some nicer wins, gonna be easy to build, and also doesn't require any secondary charge move. It's gonna be my final video for the Element Cup, as I know a lot of people are not really happy with this cup, but I also know that a lot of people just want to get their sets done quickly, so this is a team maybe for you, as we have 2 Shadow Pokemon and a Cottonee in the back, and literally all of them don't need a secondary charge move, and even if you want to give them a secondary charge move, like, it is fine. 2 of them have like 10k basically stars unlock. I mean, because the shadowness of the Turtwig here, it's 12k then, but this team worked out really well for me. Definitely can recommend it to you. I already played last time this thing was around, and it's still very decent. One problem for this team for the backline would be something like Landorus, but like this is gonna be a problem for nearly every team, and we faced a lot of them for whatever reason. People are gonna have them nowadays, I don't know. But yeah, this is the final video for this cup, because I know that a lot of people are not really interested in the content for this cup, but I still want to make at least one video about a team that's very fast to play and should give you some wins pretty easily. So I hope this is fine. The rest is gonna be Great League, but we also have like 3 out of the last 4 weeks are Great League, so it's kinda it doesn't matter. But we can take a look at this team here right now. We have the Shadow Slowpoke in the lead. You basically only need Psyshock. You have me here seeing like with the Water Pulse there. I've never used Water Pulse once, I think, in any battle with the Shadow Slowpoke yet. It literally just wasted 60k Stardust. It's not more than this. So never really get the secondary charge move on your Slowpoke. You will never need it in your entire life. It really doesn't matter. It's only really in a specific scenario where you might want to have it, where maybe you farm something down and then a fire type comes into you, but usually you win against the fire types anyway. So where is like the point of this? Here we're actually gonna lose by 1 HP in a dream. That's kinda sad, to be honest. But yeah, this team worked really well. You have this Swap here of the Shadow Turtwig, which is gonna be doing a lot of damage to all the water types, as you can see here. It's insane damage that you can put out with this. As my opponent goes for 1 Bubble Beam, we can just let this move go through, go for 1 big Seed Bomb here, and we would be able to realign or get a shield from my opponent. We get the shield here, and we can put him into a range where 1 Confusion should be enough to KO this little duck here, as we can see that the Confusion comes through, and we see also a Chinchou coming through here, which again we can just shield up. We're gonna see a Bubble Beam, very nice bait by my opponent. We can go for 1 Psyshock. Now we have 0 shields on my opponent's part, most likely. No, they're actually gonna let this move go through, and we see a Cottonee in the back. Good thing that we also have a Cottonee in the back, and this is an easy win. My opponent decides to surrender, and this is gonna be a good game. As you see here, I played this team at basically over Legend Elo. Main issue for me, by the way, currently with the Element Cup is not the meta, it's just the queue times. Everybody is playing Great League, so queue times up here can be a little bit longer than you want to, but it is fine as we see a Cottonee farming us down here. I think I go to my own Cottonee. Yep, I don't really want to get hit by any charge move anymore onto my Slowpoke. Also, we can tank those moves easier as we see a Ducklet coming in. We can go for a nice Seed Bomb here. We should be able to get a shield here, as yeah, of course they want to go ahead and do this, as we can get a free Confusion through here, which is very nice. Thanks for this. We see the Bubble Beam, nice bait by my opponent. We see the Seal coming in. We can go for another move here with our Slowpoke, going with a Psyshock, getting the shield by my opponent, and I think I let this move go through. I would say, yep, I do. They go ahead, go for the Icy Wind. They can farm me down. That's kind of awkward, to be honest, as we're gonna go ahead, charm this thing down, and now it's gonna come down to the wire. Can we farm this thing down in time? They're gonna go ahead, go for the Bubble Beam here. It's gonna come down to the wire, and we win this game just barely. They were just at the move, I think, so good game there. Next up opponent, Landorus in the lead. At least we face it in the lead. It's horrible if you say it in the back, but like in the lead it's fine. You have to keep your Slowpoke though, so I don't know why you're staying in here, to be honest. And they have Aerial Ace, which is horrible for me, because now my Slowpoke is basically dead. And we kind of screwed this up, but we can go to our Turtwig and farm down this little duck as they go ahead, and that's only a Bubble Beam. I should have let this move go. It's an Aerial Ace. Never mind. Yeah, okay, got shield by me. Forgot that they had Aerial Ace, even though I just saw it 5 seconds earlier. Very nice. As we can go ahead, go for one body slam here. We should be able to get the final shield. The Salandit is, never mind, the Salandit just goes down. Salandit is super squishy, but the damage output of this thing against the entire meta is insane as well. It basically resists every single move in the meta, it feels like. So, like, Salandit is literally a cheat code in the meta. If you have Salandit, you can use it, of course, but it's basically impossible to get unless you make a secondary account and also play some Rocket Grunts there. And I feel it's only really viable option if you have like home stops, and if you don't have home stops, like it's basically impossible, I feel like. But yeah, of course you can go outside and also try to get some rocket grunts there, but why would you go outside with a different account and beat some rocket grunts while you can play on your main account? I don't know. It just doesn't feel worth the grind, to be honest, to create another account just to get this landed for this cup, even though it would be a cheat code. It's basically getting legend for free, in my opinion, in this kind of meta, just because like Salandit is so much far ahead than anything else. It's basically like Bronzor in the normal little cup. There's not a lot that you can do about it if you don't have it on your own. So, yeah, I don't know, like Salandit is for me like this kind of topic that I really don't like. It's even worse than Sneasler. Sneasler is super easy to get like before in the event. For the Great League with the new account, you just have to open basically 4 gifts or whatever to get one on like in general. But like the Salandit is such a awkward topic. As we see here, my opponent having a Slowpoke in the lead, they go into their Chikorita. I like this as I have my Cottonee here. Cottonee is my best matchup against Chikorita. And if I get out of this matchup with some energy, I would be happy. But I also can just KO it before I can use another shield. And I'm also happy. We have to see what we're going to do here. We go ahead, go for the Seed Bomb, which would KO the Chikorita before they can get to another move. They're going to shield this up. This is fine for me. I'm going to have to shield this now up as well. But we can align maybe our Turtwig against the, against the Slowpoke. I think that's fine. As they go ahead, go into the Slowpoke. We don't get to the Seed Bomb, sadly. But then we can go into our Turtwig and do some nice damage as they go into their Cottonee. And this looks like a loss to me. That's going to be a little bit awkward. Actually, I remember this game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they go for the charge move here. And I screw this game up on my own. Like, this is fine. The shield here is totally fine because I'm going to be able to get some more confusion damage on there and I need this. But as you're going to see here right now, I didn't know that I would get to another Seed Bomb here before they can get to the charge move. I go for the Body Slam here, and because of my own mistake, they survive with exactly 1 HP in a dream, can get to the charge move, and they win. If I just went for the Grass type move, because I just didn't know that it's one more Razor Leaf from a Body Slam to the next charge move there, I would have been able to win this game. That's like something that wouldn't happen if you know the team already for longer. This was like, I'm just playing this team like I didn't play it before, so if you know the Pokemon before, you would know like those kind of differences and would easily win the game. There's like the difference in general. If I showcase a team for like a video here, like I usually just play this team, like it's my first belt with a team, and I only play around like 2 to 3 sets with a team on average, I think. So I don't have the knowledge all the time about every Pokemon and every count on this, that it makes the gameplay that I do even like worse than it possibly would be if you just play the team for longer. So if you see a team that already works here really well, it's most likely even better if you play it for a longer time, unless the meta changes. But like there's of course always a thing in Go Battle League, like meta can change. As we see a Chikorita here again, which is fine for us, so we can go for a big boy grass type move here, which gonna KO that thing, as we see the Chinchou coming back in, which has to go for a Thunderbolt to KO us here. And it's gonna come down to the wire again. They're gonna go for the Thunderbolt. Can we farm this thing down in time? Can we farm this thing down in time? They can go for another charge move, and it's gonna be only the Bubble Beam. And it's gonna be an easy game there. Good game to my opponent. Next up, we're gonna see the Slowpoke against the Slowpoke. We have 2 grass types in the back, so we're just gonna go ahead, go into the Turtwig, gonna put him already at like half health, as we see a Ember Vulpix coming in. Against a normal Vulpix, it's actually kind of insane how good the Turtwig is, as you're going to be able to farm this normal Turtwig down without, like, I mean, with the Cricket Deck Vulpix, you can just farm this thing down in the 2-shield scenario with the Turtwig, which is kind of amazing, because you get out of the matchup with basically only 1 shield disadvantage, and you're going to get out of the matchup with 1 move, which is going to most likely get the shield back, and you can realign. And realignment with this team is basically your bread and butter. You kind of want to have a realignment there, because they have like, it's basically an RPS team anyway. Like every team in this meta is RPS. If you get hard counted, you get hard counted. There are only a certain amount of Pokemon that kinda are not RPS. One of them is like the Slowpoke in general, as you don't really have a good answer for this Pokemon, but it's also not really the craziest answer to anything else. But it's just RPS in general. Like there's not a lot that you can do there. I guess like the best Pokemon that you can also have is Seal with a Lick. That's also kind of not RPS, as we're gonna get hard counted in the lead, gonna get hard counted as a Say Swap. Here we see a Salandit coming in again. I don't know how people get the Salandits, to be honest. I am not gonna go ahead and make another account for this, but it's kind of awkward, to be honest, like seeing all of the Salandits all around. It's just so difficult to get. Like if Niantic gives us an opportunity to get them in quests or whatever, I would be more than happy with that. But at the current time we don't, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead, shield this move up. As we see now, we swap out into our Cottonee, as we see a Bubble Beam coming through here. But what you're also gonna see in the back is just a double fire line here. So as we have a double grass line, it's game over. Like, what are we supposed to do? We have a Chinchou against the water type in the lead. We have 2 fire types against our 2 grass types in the back. There was just nothing I can do there. As we see the next opponent having a Steel Say Swap, we have to shield here sadly because the Icy Wind would be enough, but they go for a Weather Ball as a Vulpix here. Good game there. It's basically, by the way, like if you see this bug happening to you as well, where they go for a move and a Pokemon that is not even on that team, then it's either because you or the opponent forfeited on a CMP tie. And you saw like the team at the game prior, where I forfeited against the Vulpix L CMP tie, and basically this move then transfers onto the next game for you. It's only visual, it doesn't impact your gameplay whatsoever. It's only visual and confusing, but yeah, that's basically how it happens. So it's actually kind of interesting that those games came back to back, which is because like usually the games get randomized in this in my video tool there for whatever reason, and usually it's not really back to back, but I take this. It was kind of good to showcase it like this, to be honest. So here we see the matchup against the normal Shadow Vulpix here with the Weather Ball and the Body Slam and the Quick Attack. And we can just farm this thing down. We can go for one charge move here where we will get the shield from my opponent. We get the shield from my opponent and we can just realign after farming this Vulpix down, which is going to be very nice for us. As we see here, farm down, as we see a Cottonee coming and we cannot get to another move. We go into our Slowpoke here, which is interesting. We can go for one Psyshock, and I have to try to get this thing low. I have to try to get the final shield on my opponent. They're gonna throw that charge move here, which is amazing for us, as we can now go into our Cottonee. And for whatever reason, my opponent just decides to stay in here, try to farm me down, which doesn't work because we literally have way more HP. And now we still have to get to one Grass Knot. I think if they're swapped out immediately, went for a Thunderbolt, they would have won this game, but they didn't, and we can just finish this game here. Good game there. As we see another horrible lead here with the Cottonee. I actually decided later on, like this matchup was different before the recent changes. Before you just went straight for the move and then transferred the charm onto your Turtwig. Nowadays I would go for 5 fast moves with your Confusion Slowpoke in the lead. Hey, we see another Salandit. I hate this thing. So many Salandids, it's insane, but they're all on top here in the high meta. I would just go for 5 turns and then throw the charge move, because then you get them basically in a range where you can farm down with the Turtwig as well. Before, like if you only go for 4 moves, I think they can farm you down in time instead of the Turtwig can farm down the Cottonee. But it's still always our awkward matchup against Cottonee lead. But still, it's fine here as we see a Bubble Beam coming through. But this game looks like a loss to me, to be honest. But we have to see here, as my opponent goes for a Bubble Beam, we can still farm down this Ducklet. And we get a draw at the end here. Good game to my opponent. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. But the next video is definitely gonna be about the Great League again.